toxic leaders. Officials in the U.S. Army have concluded that they have too many.
An unofficial Air Force tradition getting out of hand. This year's version ending with more than 24 cadets hurt.
The Air Force Academy does not condone this action. Cadets in headlocks at the bottom of a dog pile. Others dragged down the hall by their feet. 27 cadets were injured. 6 went to the hospital. The Academy confirms concussions and a broken collarbone.
You will not laugh. You will not cry. Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pyle. Sir, yes, sir.
Some Army researchers wonder if toxic officers are partly to blame for some soldiers' mental health problems.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Didn't Mommy and Daddy show you enough attention when you were a child?
The idea that officers can be monsters is an old Hollywood cliche. This is from Full Metal Jacket back in the 80s.
Private Pyle, why is your footlocker unlocked?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Private Pyle, if there is one thing in this world that I hate, it is an unlocked footlocker. You know that, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir.
We got to a point where we were exceptionally frustrated by the suicides that were occurring, and quite honestly feeling helpless to some degree of otherwise good young men and women who were taking their lives.
Oftentimes platoon leaders will take turns seeing who can smoke this guy the worst, seeing who can dream up the worst torture, seeing who can dream up the worst duties, seeing who can make this guy's life the most miserable.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. As soon as you finish your bunks, I want you 2 turds to clean the head. Sir, yes, sir. I want that head so sanitary and squared away that the Virgin Mary herself would be proud to go in there and take a dump.
The evidence did not show that the soldiers' leaders had caused them to commit suicide, but the soldiers' friends said their leaders had helped push them over the brink.
Private Joker, are you trying to offend me?
Sir, negative, sir. Sir, the private believes that any answer he gives will be wrong, and the senior drill instructor will beat him harder if he reverses himself, sir.
The idea that some leaders might be awful is more than a cliche. Colonel George Reed ran the Command and Leadership Program at the Army War College in Pennsylvania. Reed and a colleague interviewed dozens of officers who were attending the War College, and he says most of them told stories about recent encounters with leaders who they said were toxic.
The Army is a world-class organization, and at some point you have to ask, are we tolerating this kind of leadership behavior?
And a few years ago, they ordered researchers to do a nationwide study about the problem. Army researchers surveyed 22,000 troops, but the study found that roughly 20% of the soldiers, almost 1 in every 5, reported that his or her own leader was toxic.
We owe it to the American public. They are destroying the organization and destroying their people.
Sir, yes, sir. Well, there's one thing that you won't like, Private Snowball. They don't serve fried chicken and watermelon on a daily basis in my mess hall. Sir, yes, sir.
Toxic leaders consistently use dysfunctional behaviors to deceive, intimidate, coerce, or unfairly punish others to get what they want for themselves.
Now you ladies carry on.
Sir,